Tomb Raider stars Alyssa Vikander, Dominic West and Walton Goggins, and is directed by Raw Youthog. Lara Croft is a young woman struggling to make ends meet, where she's working as a courier, and she's also a part-time kickboxer as well. After she discovers a secret about her father who's been missing for several years, she goes on a quest to get answers. Oh, and there's a tomb as well. So that's pretty cool. Now, as you guys are probably aware, this is a video game adaptation and also a reboot of a film series. Now, I did play the game on and off as a kid growing up, and it was a game that I did enjoy playing, but it was not one that I would play for hours on end, if you follow me. I don't really remember the Angelina Jolie movies all that much. I remember them being somewhat okay, but in all honesty, guys, I really couldn't remember a scene out of those films. It's been years since I've watched them. So in a way with this film, I am coming into it somewhat fresh. As an action-adventure film, the adventurous stuff is really not all that adventurous. But I will say that I think the action side of things is really well handled here. Alicia really commits to the physicality of her role here, and she did opt to do most of her own stunts. And it really pays off with some of these action scenes. They are quite exciting. So when you've got an actor that committed and you've got a crew that are able to competently shoot action scenes and also edit it with a lot of punch, you've got action sequences that are exciting here, and they're very easy to discern what's going on within the frame. It's not just a shaky cam edited mess here. The action is quite good. I also like the direction of Lara Croft in this movie, in that they've written her character as somebody who is quite athletic, sure, but they're actually a flesh and blood human being. They can be hurt, they can be injured. And there's quite a few times in this film where Lara is injured, and it just makes for a more compelling hero here. There's also quite an epic score from Junkie XL, and he's worked on previous scores like Mad Max Fury Road. And in that score, you guys might recall there's some excellent percussion work throughout Fury Road, which I really enjoyed. And in Tomb Raider here, it's on full display once again. And so it's definitely a strength that Junkie has in his use of percussion. So when Lara gets to the island, it's on full display, which is excellent to hear, quite exciting. And also too, there's a lot of peaks and valleys within this score, and that's something that I do like when I'm listening to a film score. A lot of lows, a lot of highs, great orchestration, particularly in its use of strings as well. When the action isn't happening in Tomb Raider, it's all just kind of okay-ish, I guess you could say. And while showing a lot of acting range in films like Ex Machina, for example, Alicia has really proven that she has a lot of acting chops, but here she's just kind of serviceable, and a serviceability that's almost quite bland, and that really goes along with most of the cast here. There is a pretty good father and daughter bond here that's actually shown through a lot of flashbacks throughout the film, but otherwise there's not really much to emotionally hold on to here, and there's really nothing special that all these actors are bringing to the characters. It's almost like paycheck performances is what we're getting here. What this film could have done with is some more laughs. It really didn't need to take itself so seriously. Raw Youthog was really onto something when he got Nick Frost to be in this movie, and Nick plays a small role as a pawn shop owner who deals with Lara Croft in a very, very funny scene. The problem is he only shows up once in the movie and then once during the end credits, and it's such a wasted opportunity. I wanted more of this character to actually, be part of the storyline, and I felt that it would have really made this material pop a little bit more. There's also another scene later in the film, and I won't spoil it too much, and all I'll say is that two characters reunite, and they play the lines really straight. The scene is just played out normally, but it's actually edited in almost a very comic way, and so it almost comes off a little bit strange, like the cast and crew couldn't really find the right tone for this particular movie. I just think it could have gone in a more comic direction, and it would have really paid off well. Guys, there's also some pretty dumb moments throughout this film. And one thing that keeps coming up a couple of times throughout the film is that characters will have certain knowledge of either things or certain knowledge of people when they haven't been given that information in the storyline at all. And so it really sucks you out of the film, because while certain things were playing out, I was asking, well, hang on, how does this person know this person? Or how does this person know that this particular thing will fix the problem? The other thing that stuck out like a sore thumb is that there is a Sony camera that has been sitting dormant for several years, where a character turns this camera on and there's still a full battery life.
One major American city each week.
بطل عزیز
Get another one, you moron.
As a reboot of a film series and also a video game adaptation, I mean, I guess you could say Tomb Raider had a lot working against it, and it probably should have turned out far worse than it did. I just wish it was a little bit more fun, you know? I love action-adventure films that are a lot of fun to watch, and I can only hope that the next time around they have a little bit more fun with this material. I'm going to give Tomb Raider 2.5 stars.
What's your name?
Lara
Surname?
Croft.
So guys, what did you think of Tomb Raider? Let me know in the comments below what you thought of the film, and don't forget to flick me a like and subscribe as well. Remember, a weekend watching movies is a weekend well spent. Thanks for watching.